Welcome to Keep
Snacking. Hey, we're back.
That went better, I think.
I think it was gorgeous.
Okay.
We have the same headphones.
Yes.
The same mic.
Yes.
We're sitting
twinning.
outside of London at a Starbucks right now.
Liar.
You look fabulous.
So do you. Oh my God. We cannot hold it together. We're just very excited to see each other. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's pandemic life.
It's pandemic life.
I'm not looking at you. I'm pre-preparing facts.
Okay, yes, because Lauren is a fact master.
So how was your week? How are things?
Things are good. I'm so excited that people are listening to us and, our 10 followers.
No, we are officially more than 10 followers, which was 2020 goals.
It's still just like 10 followers, and I'm okay. Like those are our tried and true. Our loyals are the 10.
I think it's more than 10, and I'm gonna throw another 10 in the bucket, guys, because people are up in Starbucks Grill. You know that this could be an exciting episode for somebody.
Yes. I mean, who doesn't go to Starbucks? But I want to say that one comment from our last episode from Craig, one of our listeners. Hi, Craig. Hope you're still listening.
Craig.
He had mentioned that the thing that he likes about Sour Patch Kids is he likes the tiny ones because he just likes to go in like a serial killer and eat all the flavors at one time. Like, so he doesn't differentiate, like, whereas both you and I like different flavors and we like to taste a flavor at a time, but he likes the amalgamation.
He tastes the rainbow a little bit.
Yeah. So I thought that was like,
Craig, I hear you.
It's a different point of view. And I thought that it was important to share that.
If I wasn't an anti-green and blue person in my mouth, I will say, I'm going to make a confession. There have been times where, but prior to Big Kids, if I had to pull them out and throw it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes those other ones creep in. And I will say, if the ones I don't like creep in, if I have the ones I do like in my mouth, it's more, digestible for me.
Right.
It's not So, I get you, Craig. I feel you.
Yeah.
I love the feedback. I love the way people eat the things.
I know. How exciting. We're learning
My
about
dad
how
said
other
3
people.
chomps. I got feedback from Real. Hey, Real.
Hi, Ruben.
I got feedback from him. He said, I eat it in 3 murderous bites.
Like a Sour Patch Kid, like the little ones or the big kid?
Even the little ones, he goes through the 3. I don't even know if he's ever had a big kid. So I'm
the
pretty
little
sure
ones are tiny to like.
Yeah, but he still has like a method to his madness. So,
yeah. The method is important. It's so
the
fascinating.
method's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to call out. So I like to call out a lot of things. If you listen to me in other other casts or my stand-up comedy, I call out terrible things about my sex life sometimes due to food.
Oh my God. What are we talking about here?
Champagne mouth.
Oh, okay. Yes, but I mean.
But what I'm saying is.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is we call things out. We are straight shooters, and we realize that the first episode was a little too long.
Yes.
And so we're calling it out.
We're owning it, as the housewives like to say.
I'm sorry, I love you, and I own it. Those are the 3 major housewives resolution phrases.
Yes, it was too long, and we're also going to work on chewing away from the mic and maybe chewing, like finishing and then talking, or while the other one's eating, the other person's talking, right? So we're
learning.
Working. We're learning.
It was our first episode.
Yes. And, if you're hating on it, that's okay. Haterade is okay. Haterade lifts us up. So
I love a hater.
Yeah, Lauren loves a hater.
I will sit and have a coffee. And we'll go right into that. I love Starbucks with a hater.
Like, what do you? So you're saying you sit with haters at a Starbucks and have coffee? Like, you just?
I will. If a hater wants to sit and have a conversation with me, and if they do, I will most likely get a Nonfat vanilla latte, which is
that what you have today?
What I have today. I often, when they ask me my name, say my name is Jones because there's a lot of Laurens out there. Not that Jones isn't popular, but Jones as a last name is popular, not as a first name. So.
Sure.
Jones is my name.
Yeah.
And we're going to throw a fact out to start. It's the most popular item on the Starbucks. Like, it's of all time the highest selling item at Starbucks.
The vanilla.
Grande vanilla latte. I think, I don't know
Wow.
if there's a milk differential in that.
Yeah.
But mine is, I always go non-fat milk.
Huh. That's so fascinating. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the most popular.
I decided to get the one pumpkin spice latte that I usually get a year. So that's what this bitch is. And what I like to do, obviously Sumona is like ridiculous for Starbucks people, right? Like they're never going to get that right. So I like to do order ahead. I always order in the app. If you're not ordering on the app and you're a regular Starbucks drinker, then you're doing it wrong, Peter, because it is like the easiest thing. And if you're a regular drinker, you should always do the rewards program because those points, those stars add up and you get free shit all the time. But I always do one pumpkin spice latte a year because I always get excited and I think I'm going to like it. And then I order it and I'm like, wow, this just tastes burnt shittiness. So I'm going to try what it tastes like.
So if I've had one, I don't remember it. I blocked it out. So I did buy a pumpkin spice in light of you. So I have 2 Starbucks.
Oh, nice. This isn't that bad. It's not bad this year.
I'm going to try it because everyone thinks because my birthday, and I'm not anti certain things pumpkin, but my birthday is October 27th. So send gifts.
Happy birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday. Sorry.
to you.
I'm doing a Luann.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Luann.
Sorry. We're really into Real Housewives. That's part
Like
of our
extra
relationship.
level. It is part of our relationship. Plus, it's like extra because we're in pandemic and like that's like the highlight.
But how is your pumpkin spice latte? Because mine is actually pretty delightful.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Well,
I'm not
it
a
is
big sweet coffee
It's a
drinker.
treat. It's not like this isn't real coffee to me. This is like a sweet treat. Like tis the season of pumpkin spice. It is pumpkin spice season.
The season for pumpkin. But yeah, everyone thinks because my birthday's in October, like, oh my god, you must celebrate pumpkin spice, and I'm like,
What?
no.
I mean, just because your birthday's in October,
It is the generalization that happens. If your birthday was right before Halloween, they would do the same thing. And yes, I did have costume parties, and yes, I always get a Carvel. My favorite
I love a Carvel
is a
ice cream.
Carvel ice cream cake. That's the pumpkin, and I will, and I don't get mad at it because it's like it's a novelty now for me. But it doesn't taste like pumpkin. It's just
No, it just looks like pumpkin.
Yeah,
it's like if Fudgy the Whale doesn't taste like a whale.
Girl, well, who knows? I've never eaten whale.
I try it. Send me some whale.
Why are you eating? Oh, you'd try it. I thought you were like, you tried it.
No, I would try it. I don't think people
like, that's
do.
an
People eat
episode.
whale. I feel like whales are endangered, but like
I know, but people are crazy and they want to eat what they can't have.
well,
No.
you know what I just learned about? Sorry, little sidebar talking about weird food. Shirako, Shirako. I was on Instagram. I was like, "What is this food? It looks like brains." Okay.
Is
and
it?
no, well, I think it's kind of worse than brains because, like, I think sweetbreads are, sweetbreads are pancreas and stuff, but people eat cow brains, which I guess I would try. But Shirako, I'm sure I'm butchering how to pronounce it. It's like male cod sperm sacs.
Hard pass. Swipe left, everybody.
And it's funny because people eat caviar, which are female fish eggs, right? But when you think of sperm sacs, like
The word sack.
it's really unappetizing.
And if you've seen a scrotum sack, that's what comes to mind when you're telling me sperm sacs. It lives within the sack. It's a sack in a sack is what it is. And I don't want it in my mouth.
Well, yeah. And it looks like brains. It looks gross.
Unless I'm drank a lot of champagne.
And the thing is like I consider myself a pretty adventurous eater.
You are an adventurous
I will
eater.
try stuff.
I will try everything once. I won't like it always. Simona will be like, I'll eat it again.
Yeah.
That's kind of the differences in our...
But I mean, this one really took a second for me to pause. And I'm like... But I always put it up to like myself. Like, I would eat it for $1 million. You better believe that.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, let's put the steaks on.
Yeah, steaks, definitely.
Steaks with cod sauce.
Steaks with sperm sex? Check. Yeah, I'll do it. It's like,
Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Sriracha. Don't get that mixed up with your sriracha.
Sriracha. No,
And your
they look very
It's
different.
like, yeah, make sure you're reading that menu right.
Sorry
All right,
for the
so
sidebar, but let's get into
I think it's
Starbucks.
educational.
Yeah.
So, bag.
Oh, I can't really see it.
I know.
But she's showing us a Starbucks bag. You know what the Starbucks bag is with the mermaid lady on the front.
And let's go into that. Can we go
Yeah,
into
let's talk about some
facts.
facts.
Okay. So here's the most important fun fact that everyone should know. I was a Starbucks barista.
Yay.
Ew. The enthusiasm was waning. I because we know from first episode, if you watched, I just moved from Massachusetts, so a lot of my stuff is in storage, still up in the Northeast. So these are two things that I earned working at Starbucks.
So
back in a flary.
Can you describe them for our listeners?
So
Oh my
this
God.
one said,
The drama.
I just dropped it. I dropped it and caught it between my really thick and muscular thighs. Okay. So this one says you rock, and it's like little bean babies on it.
She's showing us a pin, okay, for the listeners, and it has little coffee beans on it.
Coffee beans.
That say
and
you
then
rock.
this one says certified barista. So this was when I actually became
It's like a little
certified
Starbucks
barista.
mug and with the Starbucks logo, coffee, certified barista pin.
Yeah. So these were two. I don't know if I've kept the rest of them, but there was like a little bit of flair back in the day.
Yeah, I don't see it anymore.
No, because I don't think that the certifications are maybe quite the same. But the short version of why I got a job at Starbucks was because I was student teaching, which you don't get paid for. I was an art major and an art ed major. And so I was student teaching all day. I was getting kicked off my parents' health insurance at a certain age, as one does.
Like 25, I think.
No, it was younger
Oh.
at the time. And so Starbucks has, if you even work part-time, you get full health benefits.
Oh,
at
wow.
Starbucks. And I think
Thanks,
I tried
Starbucks.
to look to see, I tried to look to see if they had changed that policy, but I couldn't find it. So I think it's still intact. So that was a huge reason why I got a job there. And they put you through an entire, I'm not going to go into the detail, but they put you through an entire certification program where you go to like coffee school and you learn the differences in the coffee and how they, there's like a lot of like fair trade, and they get, coffee beans from all over the world, and they work with very specific people for it, and they educate you a lot on it and a lot on the history of the company. This was pre like machines doing everything and pre the extensive menu at Starbucks. So there was basically just like the cooler case.
What year was this that you were there?
I would say I was there between like 2002 and 2004.
Okay.
So you also manually pulled your espresso shots on a real old-timey Italian barista bar. Now there's a number that's the exact number to pull the shot at. And if you don't pull it and the water comes through at a certain time, the shot is like invalid, and it's either going to taste too burnt or too watery, and it's not going to be like the proper shot. Now they have machines that do it exactly, and they basically punch the numbers in if you watch what goes on behind the bar.
Yeah.
And they just have a frother machine. So on the big bars, they used to have the frother machine, and you were pulling shots all day. So like your right arm was like, ugh, because it was always pulling. It was one of the hardest jobs I think I ever did, in that I was like on my feet all day.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would work 2 shifts, but working a shift at Starbucks really early in the morning was awesome because you were done sometimes by 10 or 11. So if you were young and partying like I was, you didn't even go to bed and you went right to work.
Well, how long could you keep up that schedule? That's like a lot.
It was a lot. I had a social life, and I was teaching, and I was working at Starbucks. So I was working sometimes full time, like when I was pulling crazy hours, but it was worth it. It was amazing. The camaraderie was awesome. You kind of felt like you worked at a bar. You had like your regulars and all that kind of stuff. It's literally to this day still one of my favorite places I've ever had a job at.
Oh.
It was so I know that there's been like controversy of Starbucks and things like that in the past. They will say I didn't work for a store where it felt like the company did anything like racial or was, you know, in or exclusive of anybody. I always like we had a really diverse clientele. I mean, and that was in Georgia. That was, you know, I was down here in Georgia. So, you know, unfortunately, I think you see that throughout the world, not to get too serious, but in the climate that we're in, I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worse.
It
It's worse now. Like, I think that,
For
you know,
sure.
back then maybe it wasn't so seen, but now it's seen everywhere all the
Yeah.
time.
But I'll tell you, I didn't see it. And if I did see it, I would like.
Yeah, you would have thrown down your apron and cut a bitch, I think.
I would have. I
Yeah.
would have burned a bitch. So
Yeah.
1971 is actually when Starbucks started.
Okay, in the same year I was born. Kidding. No, I was born in 1971.
That was 10 years before I was born. So it's officially only 10 years older than I. So that means it's turning 49 this year instead of 39.
Oh, nice.
Gross either way. Old age, ew. But I'll go in with more facts as we're talking. There's the one thing I will point out is on the Starbucks website, there is a true timeline. It is extensive of the order of events from this company when like even it's like it even shows it's like it's 1988 when like the health benefits kicked in.
Oh.
Like so they show everything
So they show their receipts.
they show the receipts. They show their
Starbucks says.
acquisitions.
Yeah.
They show changes. They show like even when certain popular things hit the menu that they kind of, you know, discovered. But the long and short is, you know, Howard Schultz, who has started Starbucks, I just want to make sure I got this right. He basically went to Italy and saw the concept of like espresso bars and there were some in America, but nothing like it is today. And was like, I want to do that. And I want people to pay money for good coffee. And I want to treat my employees right, I think was and you know, everyone always starts a company with like a good mantra. So anyway, so that's kind of like how it all started. But if you're really interested in the history of Starbucks, it could take the whole time for me to just read all of this, which I am not going to do. Boring. We want to
boring.
Wah, wah.
I don't have time for that.
No, but you guys can do that. So
Yeah,
just want to
you can educate yourself.
Edumacate.
I do want to like on my bucket list. I feel like this is a lame bucket list, but I do want to go to the first Starbucks store ever in Seattle. Like I want to go to Seattle. I've never been to Seattle. I want to go to the Microsoft campus. That's what I want to do, and I also want to go to the first Starbucks.
I think it would be fun to go to the first Starbucks. And there's a lot of different Starbucks too. I think you being closer to New York City, there's
and I have a lot to say about New York City Starbucks. I do.
Snap. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it because I'm hungry.
Okay.
And I need protein. So I'm gonna eat the snack that Sumona has recommended for me from Starbucks.
So you found it?
I found it.
Oh shit.
Which has nothing to do with Starbucks. Well, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. It has to do with Starbucks. They don't sell this everywhere. They do pick deals and where they, you know, certain companies end up selling their items.
Mm-hmm.
So why this is related to Starbucks, Simona and I, again, we're shortening our episodes a scotch. And so I gave her like my go-to and she gave me one of her go-tos when she was like freaky keto.
Yeah, I did do keto, guys. I did keto. I try every diet out there. Like
I don't. I just
do.
eat and exercise. You're going to learn that difference about us. But
well, I don't do it anymore. I'm trying to just like I've done every diet under the sun.
She's done. And if you're going to give her a diet, she'll probably do it. But it is called moon cheese.
Oh, they totally changed how it looks. That's not how it looked back when I was eating it. But it's moon cheese. I told Lauren to try moon cheese.
But this is where you found it, right? You
Yes,
found it.
I found
at
moon
Starbucks.
cheese at Starbucks because I was doing keto, and if you don't know anything about keto, it's high fat, low carb.
Look up the guy from Jersey Shore that does it.
Oh yeah, Vinny.
Keto Guido.
Yeah. So keto did not work well for me
That's strong.
as a woman because following the keto diet, I found in my experience is really geared towards men's bodies, and women need some different things because we have different, hormone levels and all of that. But anyways, at Starbucks, I was like, what the fuck can I eat? Like, I can't eat these croissants that I usually eat because I'm on keto. So I saw moon cheese, and moon cheese is just regular cheese, but it's dehydrated. So it takes out the moisture and
Crunchy bites of golden delight.
Yeah.
If you will.
So it's cheese, but it's like kind of freeze-dried cheese. So
cheddar, believe it. Cheddar, believe it.
It's very extra. It's become extra. That is not the packaging that I found moon cheese to be in. So obviously I found it at Starbucks and I was like, this is great. Let me now buy this on bulk in Amazon. So I did. I bought like 40 packs of it and then I never ate it again. So Lauren, why don't you try it? And
the smell of it is wicked strong. Like you feel like like you have been somehow in a fever dream packed in an old cheese wheel.
Do you is it like the moon is made out of cheese and you're sitting on the moon?
No, it's like I was stuffed in the wheel of cheese.
Okay. So, are you enjoying the pleasant taste? The smell. Okay, now you put it in your mouth, so don't eat it, and then I'll ask you. But yeah, I don't know. Lauren's face is interesting right now, but I found it to be an easy snack, especially like in the city when I'm walking around, and it's easy to put in my backpack because it comes in a bag, and it's not a wet snack that's gonna spill all over the place.
I'm not wet; it's dry as hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. If you're on a diet, grab it. It's not gross. It tastes like cheese. It tastes like cheese chunks. It gives you a little bit of like a curdle aftertaste because it's like dried cheese. So that seems normal. One thing I also think is cool to remind people about at Starbucks is that they do have like their little like refrigerated section, and they do have dry snacks, and they do cut deals with certain companies that they like to bring in. They did that with Ethos, and they ended up buying Ethos water, actually. So I think they sometimes acquire the companies that they do sell in-house. I don't hate it. Like this, I can see if you want. I'm a differentiator in my palate for savory and sweet. I would prefer the differences. So if I need a quick snack and I would prefer savory, this is a great option.
Yeah.
It comes in the resealable situation.
Yeah,
which
so
is
you
good
can
to throw
like
in your bag.
Exactly, and it's like.
And I'm a big strings. Like I like a Sargento string cheese. Like I know cheese is like technically no nutritional value to you, but
it has protein.
But that's it. Like it's not. It doesn't have like the other things that other food has for you.
But it has vitamin D.
So people argue cheese is not like the way to go. But again, I'm not always highly dieting. However, sometimes I don't want to eat something I don't feel like I eat unhealthy all the time, but you want to grab a snack.
Yeah.
Grab a cheese snack. This is the dried cheese snack. And just really quickly, something that's interesting. Like, so this is a small company. Like they only have up to 50 employees. They're headquartered out of Washington, the state. And they are a public company. They are small. The thing that I think is funniest about this company, where is this? They have like their website and is cheesy. And like they play on the fact that they're cheesy, if that makes sense. So they have things like like a cheesy crank call hotline and like all these like stupid
How fun.
Yeah, it's all kinds of like fun cheesy jokes and puns, and they like are very engaged with their customers, which you can't hate on. But this is not the first snack I would have ever thought to go to at Starbucks. But if you want to counterbalance the sweetness of the drink and the other things that you buy, like go for it, girl.
Yeah, and especially it's like I love that it's resealable. So it's like, you can have some, satiate your hunger, and then have some later.
We know Sumona likes to throw snacks on the floor.
Well, or my backpack. Like if I'm walking around
her backpack.
In the
That's
city.
a new place. Dora the Explorer.
No, it's
all
a very
food
cute
in my backpack.
It's a very cute Toomey backpack, for God's sakes.
Hey, Dora is rich. I'm sure hers is to me too.
Okay, so can I just talk about my Starbucks experience and then I'll get into your snack?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
that
that I
was my
have
Luann.
I have Lauren's permission now. So I work in the city, and throughout my life, I've always had to meet up with people at Starbucks. Like that is the place to go. Like commuting into the city from Jersey and being like, oh, let's meet at the Starbucks by Penn Station. And I have that. Yeah, Lauren is just keeps pointing at herself.
I'm one of those friends.
Yes. And so there's my favorite Starbucks. I don't think it's that great, but it's very convenient because there's one right next to Penn Station and it has an upper level. So you don't always have to buy something. You can just go up there, find a table. You can usually find a table.
I've met her at this one.
Yes. And you just like chill out there. I usually buy something because it's like I'm going to Starbucks. Why not buy a coffee?
It's usually dirty though. That one is dirtier than most.
I mean, I think most of the Starbucks, like, yeah, if it's by Penn or Port Authority, like, forget it.
Excuse me, mine in Hell's Kitchen was not off of 50th and 10th. It was very tidy. Okay. It was also a smaller one,
right? But
I think because
a lot of them are gross. Like, I think that in the city, all of the Starbucks bathrooms are disgusting. Like the worst.
Don't let the code fool you.
It's just like those bitches want you to put in a damn special code to go into like a disaster area. It is disgusting. And I have had to go to a Starbucks bathroom because it's like if you're coming from Jersey, you have time to kill. You don't have a place you could go hang out in. You have to hang out at Starbucks. Where are you going to go to the bathroom? Starbucks. And it's always a disaster. It's always disgusting. There's hardly any toilet paper on that big wheel of toilet paper. And then there's like, it's wet on the ground. It's just like poop on the walls.
Oh, whoa.
No, okay, I'm exaggerating. It's just, but it feels like that. It feels like that.
It feels like you're on, you're like on the set of, what is that guy? Now I'm screwing it up. That weird guy that like drives the tricycle.
Pee Wee Herman?
No, it's like a horror movie. Jigsaw is his name, I think.
Like it? Like the clown? Who are you talking about? I have no idea what you're saying right now.
I'm going to Google it while we're talking. Well,
as you're Googling it, I'm figuring
it looks like a horror show. It looks like you're about to be tortured. Is
and
what it looks
smells.
Saw, the Saw series.
Oh, I won't see. I'm not going to see that.
Out of every movie, you see everything.
No, but
every time I mention a movie on this podcast, you're like, I hate Grease. I'm not going to see Saw. She lies about her movie intake. What the? What?
So anyway, Lauren's doing sound bites over there. So that's a commuter and New York City Starbucks experience, but also what has come to light. I'm pretty close with a lot of coworkers, and for us to take a break during the day, we do a Starbucks run, which is always nice. You get to go outside, and there's a Starbucks that's close to my work. I work in Midtown East, and someone, I don't know who it is, it could have been my friend Michael, I think he deemed it Club Bucks because it is a club there. Like they put the music up way loud. Wow. And it is like you just don't know what you've walked into. And but they I always throw them for a curveball because I'm also that Starbucks customer who has the email. So I always know when a new drink has come out and I go order that new drink. And I'm sure the baristas hate me because I'm like, hey, can I get the passion fruit, dragon fruit, caramel splash, whip whirl, whatever? And they're like, oh, no. Yeah, nobody else has asked us to make that. So hold up.
And I'm going to tell you again, as a barista, they didn't throw a lot of audibles at me, but the audibles that you do get, there's sometimes different ways to prepare those drinks. So they sometimes didn't all learn right away. And so they hate
I have watched them struggle to create the new drinks for me. But so yeah, from commuting and going into a Saw bathroom to going to Club Bucks, New York City Starbucks run. I'm not gonna.
I used to do.
They run the world.
Who runs the world?
Starbucks.
Who runs the world?
Bucks.
I used to meet Kristen Tucci over by the one by Carnegie Hall because
Hi, Christian. Is Christian listening to us?
I don't know, but he better. We'll call him out. We'll tag him.
Okay.
Christian, we loved you. We miss you out in LA looking fine.
With your stash.
Yeah, with your stash and your body, yaddy, yaddy. He, a great comedian and writer, by the way, that we met together doing hip hop improv. Don't
get me started.
Simona doesn't like talking about it, but she did it.
I hated hip hop improv. I hated
She did it, though.
I did
She
it.
was
and
great at it.
what did I get out of it? A beautiful friendship.
I mean, look, just by
Yes.
going, my name is Sumona, and I'm here to say that I love Starbucks in a major way.
Oh, good. I'm glad you remember your rhymings. Lauren, you asked me to get your favorite iced lemon loaf, correct?
Woo! And you want to hear something funny? I actually ordered it because I just love it when I went today. But I'm not going to eat it on the cast.
So I will say that as soon as I got it and I got it in the car, you can really smell like the lemon right from the get-go. And we know that Lauren loves lemon. Lauren loves lemon.
Lemon tart is my tart is my favorite.
This is
dessert.
what it looks like. It's got some icing. Okay, so for our listeners, it's like looks like a regular pound cake with a layer of icing on top. And it's moist.
Like a thick layer of icing.
I hope people don't mind the word moist. People are very like it's another
life.
polarizing thing.
That's hashtag we're polarizing.
All right, I'm gonna try a little with the icing.
All right, I'll talk. So that's usually my first bite is a little with icing, and then I eat the rest of it without the icing, and then my last bites go back to the icing. She is dancing. It is delectable. Is
oh my
it
god,
not?
it is. It's delectable. It's so good. The icing is extra lemony, and it really hits you. And it is a pound cake, so it does like mush up in your mouth, and it gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. But I'm okay with that. I'm all about the clagginess, as Paul Hollywood would say. But it's
Paul Hollywood,
so.
if you're listening,
Don't
DM
get me
Simona.
started. Don't get me started. There's also a new season.
Hit her up in the DM.
There's a new season of Big Show, so I'm plugging it for you, Paul. Anyways, no, this is so good, and I just did not expect Starbucks to shove so much lemon flavor into this pound cake. It's astonishing. Like, it is refreshing, and it doesn't taste artificial, and I think the icing is what makes it for me. I wish that
I'm going to tell you there's a secret ingredient. So the biggest thing when I was
So
researching this online, I will say lemon pound cake was there when I was there back in the original case. So it's been, I think it was part of the original menu back in the day. What is the biggest thing when you Google this online is everyone's trying to mimic this cake. Like people are like, oh, the Starbucks recipe, blah, 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 blah. Like,
and
it's
that
all over
is
the place.
one thing that like you'll see all the time with Starbucks because it's such an institution. People are always trying to create the copycat Starbucks recipe. All
Exactly.
over. It's all
but
over
they
Pinterest.
do on their site put the ingredients. So it's not, they don't tell you, how to bake it or the quantity of what, but they do put the ingredients on there. And I will say that everyone will tell you that the secret ingredient to this pound cake is sour cream.
Oh, okay. I mean,
And after you eat it, you get it. I think.
Well, I don't think so.
The icing, I got it. I think it helps make it more moist. Moist. I think it helps it make it more moist. I think it helps it make it a little more tart. And the icing, I think, is secret sauce. I don't know what's in the icing.
I mean,
It's
the icing
so good. Icing is almost a Sour Patch Kid.
It's definitely, your regular powdered sugar icing. So it's probably powdered sugar mixed, with water or whatever, but like lemon zest. Like it's that
serious lemon.
It's that lemony. But yeah, I mean, like sour cream is not like an original ingredient of a pound cake. Because do you know why it's called pound cake, Lauren? Do you know?
No, I don't.
So pound cake is called pound cake because the original old school recipe was a pound of sugar, a pound of butter, a pound of flour. So that's why pound cake is called that. So because every ingredient was the same ratio. So adding sour cream is going to change that, and it's not exactly old school pound cake. But I mean, it's good. It's moist. Like, and it was, I can't, like, I'm loving this.
It's
this
good,
slice.
right?
It's good.
It is a hearty piece of cake when
Yeah,
you order
it's
it.
not good to like travel in your bag. Like this is a sit down. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
sit at Starbucks or take it with you or sit somewhere and eat it. It's like my hands are sticky. It's not like like a moving snack. I will say
And I'm
that.
not about to sound like a dainty little girl because we know I am not. I mean, I'm sure, but it is a snack that like I could split with somebody.
Yeah, because it's
is
dense. It's dense.
It's very dense. I mean, I can also knock a whole one out if I had a good workout or something too, or I didn't eat a lot that day, and I'm like, yes. But it is dense, so it is one that you can share. The other one I will say out of the pound, now they do change up pound cakes. Used to have more of them. They change them up. A holiday season, they typically have one. I think they might even have a pumpkin related.
They do have a pumpkin because on the menu for featured items on the app, they have that pumpkin pound. Yeah.
But one that's also regularly on the menu that I used to like live off of back in the day when I worked at Starbucks, so we used to donate food from our case that the end of the day, and then they also would let us like take some, like all of us poor college students take some home. So I lived off of this other one because it was like, I think a scotch bitch healthier is their banana nut pound, and that one also is delicious, and it has the same texture. And
does it have a frosting?
Kind of no frosting. It just has more of like
the nuts.
It has like a glazed top, I think, because it's a little crust, like the crust is a little sweeter on the top.
So then it's not like a full-fledged frosting.
It's no. It's maybe a glaze on top, but that's also delicious. Those two are my absolute favorite of favorites. Now, Sumona and I had a really serious talk about what are we going to pick that we've never had on the menu before.
Yeah.
And we both had tried a lot of things. However, I was like, why don't we just go in on this? So this is the Starbucks old-fashioned donut. I always think an old-fashioned donut looks weird. And I never understood it. They also say this one does have sour cream in it. Mm-hmm. This one is among one of the cheapest on the menu at the price of $1.50. I don't know if it's gone up, but it was around that. It is dense as I just touched it for the first time.
Yeah.
This is dense.
Oh, why? Yours is like very squished. Like, are you squishing it together? It like looks.
This is the under piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just say that like Lauren and I are both, we love Dunkin' donuts. So if we're gonna go for a donut, we can talk about donuts.
We're not gonna get it at Starbucks.
No, we'll have another donut episode, I'm sure. So I say I've never ordered this because I think it looks disgusting and stupid.
It looks old.
Yeah, it just looks like, you know what it
and
looks
it's called
like?
old fashioned. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want some old fashioned.
No,
in my
it's
mouth.
like they think old fashioned is like not trying and looking homemade. I'm sorry. Like you still have to make it look appetizing to your customer. And this looks like it was in your car, you sat on it by accident, and then somebody tried to reform it, and now it has all these like divots, and
nobody wants anything old in their mouth.
No. I mean,
think about that as you will. Ew.
I don't know. I would have something.
Except for Paul Hollywood. Paul Hollywood.
I was gonna say,
exception to the
except for something 18 years my senior. I don't think that's too old.
Paul Hollywood.
All right, so we're gonna try this. Like Lauren is already into it, so excuse us while we eat.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away.
I'm not impressed.
It's not terrible, but it's not. It's not on the top 10 for me.
I think
to
that
put in my mouth.
For an old fashioned, what I expect, because it's a glazed old fashioned, and if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, their old fashions are dry, and I like their old fashions.
But why is that? Is because they're like, oh, this is older. It's gonna be dried up.
No. But what I'm saying, it's like you don't need every donut to have a glaze on it. And I like the fact that the old fashioned is just, it's a little bit less sweet. It's not as cloying.
It doesn't have the stuff on top of it.
Yeah. And so the Starbucks one, it's like, it's too much for me. It's too sweet. They have a glaze on it.
The glaze is very sweet. The glaze for me was like wet tasting. Was yours like that?
Yes, it's wet. And my hands are like, And that's another. Okay, I'm just like really hating on this because I love a Dunkin' Donuts old fashioned, and my hands don't get sticky, and it's the right amount of sweetness. It's not like over sweet, and this is sugary and dense, and like I'm not into it, and it looks
It's
ugly.
not worth. It's not worth the
and
calories.
it's ugly.
Well, and it's a dense, so it's a lot of carbs.
Yeah,
And
I'm not
I'm
into
not carb
it.
counting, but I'm just saying.
No, but I mean, look, I think that if you're gonna have a sweet treat, like you should enjoy it. So, is it worth the calories? No, as again, Prue would from Baking Show would say that, but that's not Paul. That's Prue. Pass.
Can somebody put Sumona on that show, please? As a judge or something.
Oh my god, I would die.
She would die.
Pass. So I pass on this. So this is something that Lauren and I both
I pass,
picked.
but I am glad that we tried it because
Yeah.
it's been on the menu for a very long time.
And I've noticed it for years. I'm like, what is this bitch in this case? And now I know this bitch is a bitch.
She is a motherfucker. She's dry. She's soaking wet on top. Like she didn't wash her hair. She washed her hair and didn't dry it. Underneath, she's just like what we're all walking around as in COVID. Like
she's a mess.
Her voice would be like, "I'm the old fashioned. What of it?
Yeah.
Take a bite out of me." That's what she would sound like.
Yeah, that's exactly what she would sound like. And
She'd yell at you, "Get off my lawn."
I would not
Like,
mess
she's
with
that
her.
person.
So those are
My
our.
hands are legit sticky. Like I'm going in on the hand sand. You can't see it.
Is hand sanitizer going to make your hands less sticky? Like
Yeah,
I don't.
This donut, yeah, it is. Listen.
Okay. Well,
Clean hand.
on that note, so those are our Starbucks snacks. If you
guys.
have any Starbucks snacks that are your favorites, please let us know. You should know our Instagram, and also I made a Gmail account. So
Shut it down.
if you want to email us, no dirty pictures, please. You'll get blocked, unless it's of food. Yeah. So keep snacking podcast at gmail.com.
We're at Keep Snacking Podcast on Insta.
Yep.
We
On
are
YouTube.
on YouTube.
On Spotify.
You can also find us on Spotify and
Apple Podcasts.
Stitcher and Google.
Yeah.
So we are everywhere now.
We're everywhere. So you have every way to contact us. But yeah, that's just a snippet. I mean, there's so much more to talk about with Starbucks, but that's our little take on it.
And we're always happy, again, to hear your suggestions, meaning that, like, we could do an extended Starbucks. We could also do a competition
Starbucks part
store.
2, you know?
Starbucks part 2. The return of the bathroom code.
Return of the Bucks. Return of the Bucks.
Hey, someone is singing now. This is a big deal, guys. She doesn't always just jump into song, even though she's got the voice of an angel.
I hate when people sing most of the time. I don't want to hear you sing. And, you know, if I'm performing and you've come to a performance of mine, then I'll sing. But I don't expect you to always want to hear
Every
me sing.
time I post one of my own performances, I ask Sumona if it makes her uncomfortable.
Well, that's the worst. That is it's so hard for me. Like, you know, on Instagram, people just take their guitars and they just like,
Yeah,
you know,
like an
turn
auto
on the
harp.
camera. And they're like
I do.
I'm just like, I have, like, I can't.
I did it with my auto harp before
I
moved.
know you did. But I love
I actually
you.
made it fun, though. I
You
made it a
did.
fun video with effects. Yeah, so I can't thank you enough for watching and subscribing and following, and we hope that you're enjoying this as much as we are. Plug the Starbucks. Happy pumpkin season. If you want to go in, pumpkin scones, pumpkin cupcake muffins, and
Yeah, it is pumpkin
pumpkin
time.
drinks.
It is pumpkin time.
get your pumpkin on. Everybody get your pumpkin on. Everybody get,
Get
your pumpkin on.
Get your pumpkin on.
Hey, everybody get your pumpkin on.
Okay.
And lastly, want to tell you, we're going to take the audibles and do those in mini-sodes
Yes.
so that these aren't so long. So what's exciting about the mini-sode is Mataroni.
Oh,
Sumona is going to be eating Taroni and hot fries. So that's it for this week's episode of Keep
snacking.
Snacking.
It is so hard to get that right virtually. My God.
We love you.
We love you. Bye, guys.
Snack, 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 snack.